Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast NBA All-Star Team from the 1990 Skybox basketball cards. Every Sunday at 6 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Eastern, Chris and I pick out a bunch of cards. We had a guest with us, Kirk, to help us with basketball because he's practically an encyclopedia on late 80s, 90s basketball. So whenever we pick our cards, we try to figure out who our all-star team would be. Yesterday we had Karl Malone and John Stockton. Today, I present to you a question. I need a center. Bill Laimbeer was about the best center that came out of all those packs. You can argue Derek Coleman because we got Derek Coleman's rookie card, but I was never a big Derek Coleman fan. I at least like the grittiness of Laimbeer. But then you're looking at Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was not a prototypical center, didn't play center. He was a power forward. But on this team, people might argue, we'll put Karl Malone there. Karl Malone was like 6'9", 6'10". But Barkley was a little bit more aggressive and intimidating, not by much. Malone was very aggressive in his own right and a very big dude. But he always struck me, it was weird. As big as he always struck me more as a finesse player. Maybe that was just because they ran the pick and roll and, it's more getting baskets off of, technique. So it's more of a finesse in my eyes. But I want to go through the tale of the tape. Bill Laimbeer versus Charles Barkley to be the starting center on our team. So hear me out. Bill Laimbeer, 6'11", 245 pounds, out of Notre Dame University, was drafted in the 3rd round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Charles Barkley, 6'6", 252 pounds, was selected in the 1st round, 5th overall, by the Philadelphia 76ers. Slide edge right there goes to Barkley in projection of career, where he was picked in the draft, but height goes to Laimbeer, but not weight. He wasn't thicker than Chuck. They both had pretty long careers. Barkley played for Philadelphia, Phoenix, and Houston. Most of Laimbeer's career was in Detroit. He started in Cleveland and started with he played on another team prior to Cleveland, but it wasn't an NBA team. So in that, Barkley was a championship chaser at that point. He wasn't going to get the championship in Philly, so he tried to go to Phoenix. It didn't work out in Phoenix. Then he went to Houston, where I think Akeem and Clyde were still there. So I think he was still championship chasing, and he never got the rings. Bill Laimbeer, although, still, I'm going to give the advantage to Barkley. Bill Laimbeer, 2 NBA titles, 4-time All-Star, NBA rebounding leader in 1986. Okay, that's, those are some nice accolades. Those two championships are very weighty. Chuck's career highlights. He was the most valuable player in 1993. He was an 11-time All-Star. He was the All-Star MVP, not that that matters. 5-time All-NBA first team, 5-time All-NBA second team. He was a rebounding leader in 1987. He was on the NBA anniversary teams for the 50th and the 75th year. So the accolades definitely go to Chuck. The championships, Laimbeer. Now we go to points. Points for Charles Barkley, 23,757 in his career, an average of 22.1. He had 12,546 rebounds, an average of 11.7. Assists, 4,215, averaged almost 4 assists a game. That's not bad for a power forward to average almost 4 assists a game. Bill Laimbeer had 13,790 points, averaged 12.9, 13 points a game basically. Almost 10,000 points less than Chuck. 10,400 rebounds. He averaged about 9.7. Advantage goes to Chuck. Assist, 2,184, averaged about 2 assists a game. He is a center, and unless you're Jokic, you're not averaging usually more than 2 or 3 assists a game. But that's why I ask you, tail of the tape, Bill Laimbeer, Charles Barkley, who you putting at center? I think the choice is actually kind of obvious, and that is All-Star for now.